The outside atmosphere may be saying something different, but within your spirit man, God drops a word. God speaks. Hello? How many of us believe God speaks? Okay, put down your hand. How many of us have ever heard God speak to them? Okay, put down your hand. Let me say it another way. How many of us have God ever spoken to? Alright. God speaks in different ways, through different means. Sometimes through our dreams, sometimes through a trance, sometimes through the word from the servant of the Lord as he speaks. But God does what? Speak. Listen to what? To your spirit man. I faced a challenge in ministry down the road about 4 or 5 years ago now, and I was downcast, very heavy. But one evening, as I turned on my television, I was to listen to Bishop T.D. Jakes. It was as if God transported me to Potter's house for him to preach directly to me. It was a Wednesday night evening meeting for women chief executives. But I said to myself, T.D. Jakes thought he was speaking to women chief executives, but he didn't know he was speaking to me. Every word that he spoke was towards my situation and my condition. And what were the things he talked about? That as you grow in life and get promoted, some people will either grow with you or you leave them behind. That was one thing he spoke about. That for you to maintain the success you have in life, certain attitude and behaviors will also have to be modified. And I listened carefully. Again he said, for you to maintain your success also in life, certain people will now begin to feel you are unreachable, even when you are within their reach. And he spoke on and on. I cried. And I said, this is me. And he ended up by saying, keep the tempo if you want to keep the success. If you don't want to keep the success, drop it and go back to where you were before and let them meet you there. God spoke. And to me, it was my word. Beloved, listen to what? Your spirit man. And the word he will drop down in your spirit will be gentle. It doesn't fight with you at all. The word is quiet. James tells us that the wisdom from above is what? Peaceful and quiet. I believe in the midst of the battle facing you, with the champion and the Goliath or the name within the battle, God has been saying something such like, this is not the end. You will survive this. Such like, all things work together for good to those who love God, who are called according to his purpose. What's like, I will bring you to your end in good old age, and it will be well with you. The glory of the latter house shall be greater than the former. Such like, I will cause your fame even to be announced within the Gentile nations. God speaks. Listen to what? Your spirit man. I don't know what currently what God has dropped in your spirit man, but I I know deep down within my spirit that God has been saying something. That word has been consistent. It may be patient. Be quiet. Take yourself out of this battle. Allow me to handle it. For the battle is not yours, but mine. God has been saying what? Something. I don't know what it is, but I know you know. Can you please, if you know what God has been saying, can you please write it down? Now. Now. What can you hear in your spirit man? Can you please write it down? Did he say it last year? Did he say it January or February or March or June or July? I know he said something. Think. 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 Think again. And write it down. Again, what do? Develop thick skin to verbal attacks. In verses 28 and 29, the brothers of David attacked him. We know you are a very stubborn young boy. What have you come here to do? Just to watch the battle. You've left the few sheep in the wilderness to see the battle. But David refused to be dragged into it. Beloved, when battle rages, that is the time to be quiet. Mike Murdoch said, silence cannot be misquoted. My grandmom told me a story many years ago on the power of silence concerning the duck and the hen. The mother hawk asked the baby hawk to go get food, and it went. Hovered. So the duck took one of the little ones, got back, and the mother hawk asked, what did the mother of this one say? He said, the mother was just looking at me and went away. He said, you must return it. Quick, return. Say, why? Because you don't know what she may be up to. Returned it. Saw the hen with the little ones, took the little one, got back to the mother hawk. What did the mother say? She was abusing me, cursing me, telling me that she is going to come after me and deal. He said, she can't do anything. The reason we get into troubles most times, especially at the place of work, is when the battle rages, is because we are drawn into verbal battles. Buy padlock and put on your lips. As people come to say this and say this, do what? Shut up. Why? Verbal battles will drain you emotionally. And they will keep draining you. And the more you are drained, the more you lose focus. Again, look back to past victories. In 32 to 37, when they asked David, why do you think or feel you can fight this? He said, well, once upon a time I was keeping the sheep. A lion came, took one of the cubs, and went after it, plucked the cub out of his mouth and killed it. A bear came another time, I went after it, took the cub, killed it. The God who delivered me from the lion and the bear will deliver me from the hand of who? This Philistine. Beloved, the truth of the matter is this: you have more victories than defeats. That's the truth. But do we remember our victories? You have more victories than what? Than defeats. But we don't remember our victories. The little things we don't count for anything amount to much in the sight of God. If I may ask, since the beginning of this year, have you not made progress as a person? Someone answer me.
Yes.
But Mike, I'm not saying we, me.
I have.
Since the beginning of the year as a person, have you not made progress?
Yes.
Since the beginning of the year as a family, have you not made progress?
Yes, I have.
And what are some of those small victories that we take for granted? God helps our children move on. And they keep moving on. God helps them. Some of those little favors, they come our way. They may not look super fantastic, but they handle the challenge somewhere.